So tell me, do you like entitled people? No? Me neither. Stick around. You can't work here if you're pregnant. I'm a cocktail waitress, I'm 7 months pregnant. No, obviously I don't drink while pregnant or drink on the job ever. A woman, the Karen, comes in with what I'm assuming was her husband and son and daughter and asks to be seated for 4 for lunch. We're not really a restaurant, but we have a really small sandwich and wings menu. I give them menus and Karen says, "But wait, do you work here?" Yep. "But you're pregnant, you can't work here if you're pregnant." "I work here, I don't drink here," I say with a laugh, trying to keep the mood light. The woman looks me over and says, "Have you taken any prenatal courses? Do you really think that's responsible to have your unborn baby in here?" This is where I made an error. I get defensive about anyone asserting that I'm a bad mother, obviously. So I said, "Well, you've brought your kids in here." "Yes, and what kind of example do you think you're setting for them?" I'm still collecting my thoughts at this point when they grunt and wave me away. I figure I can kiss my tip goodbye, but hopefully that'll be the end of a discussion. I see them flagging down the bartender after a few minutes and figure they're ready, so I go over. But Karen asked to speak to a manager, of course she does. Now, they haven't even gotten drinks yet, so I ask if there's anything I can help them with, and her husband, Mr. Karen, says really sternly, "No, just a manager. Didn't you hear my wife?" The place is too small for a manager. It's just servers and bartenders and 2 owners. The one who's working is in the back on a phone call and will be very annoyed if I go and bother her. I realise that maybe they're still uncomfortable with my being pregnant, so say maybe Ella, the other server, can help. Karen gets up to physically look for the manager. I admit defeat and she gets up to physically look for the manager. That is typical of any Karen. I admit defeat and go back and drag her off her call. The owner goes over and with a big smile asks if there's anything she can help them with. "Your server is pregnant." The owner says she's aware and asks if they'd prefer a different server. No, she can't be a drink girl if she's pregnant. That's child abuse." The owner says, "I assure you, none of our employees drink on the clock, especially not our pregnant ones. If you prefer, I can have Ella serve you." "I don't want my kids seeing this." Hold on, maybe I'm missing something. Seeing what exactly? Mr. Karen is talking really slowly and condescendingly. "A pregnant woman around all this alcohol." I don't know what you're insinuating, but I would never drink during pregnancy. "Look, honey, didn't you take a health class in junior high? With a drink right under you half the time, alcohol vapor is absorbed into your blood through the air, and then that blood goes to the fetus and poisons it." Oh my god, what sort of logic is that? The owner and I exchange a look and realize we're not going to be getting anywhere with her. "Okay, so we can have Ella serve you, or I'm afraid there's not much else we can do." "We're not leaving here until she's fired." "Well, we can't help you." "I'll call the police. You're an accomplice to child abuse." "There is no child abuse to speak of, sir. Please leave." At this point, Karen is getting crocodile teary. "You may not think a fetus is a child, but I was taught to believe life begins at conception, and I will stand up for all living things, big and small, because that is what my Lord and Saviour wants me to do." The entire time she's delivering this tearful speech, she's looking around expecting others to, I don't know, join in with her? Applaud? "Look, you're disturbing my customers, and if you don't leave, you're trespassing, and I'll have to escalate this, which I really don't want to do." Jesus is love, and Jesus said this is not okay. Just because you think it's okay to abuse a child if it's small enough. This is an Irish pub, and the owners are devout Catholics, so my owner wasn't having any of this. Hey, I don't need anyone to tell me what Jesus said. If there were abuse here, I'd have acted to stop it, but there isn't any. I need you to please leave. "I'm calling the police." "Do that." We just stop trying to service their table. As we all wait for the cops to arrive, Karen keeps trying to give her sermon. But there was a game on that people had come to watch, and eventually everyone yelled at her until she piped down. Well, that is good to hear. Enter awesome officers AO1 and AO2. "Blank Police Department. Is there a Mr. Karen in here somewhere?" "Right here, officers." "You said you were witnessing child abuse. Are the parties involved still in the bar?" They point me out. I pretend not to notice because I'm worried they'll take them outside and I won't be able to watch any more fireworks. The other officer asks, "So what exactly was going on?" That woman was drinking. She's pregnant. You can plainly see she's very pregnant. Before I can go over and tell them she's lying about my drinking, the officers look at each other and look back at the Karen family. That's not illegal. What? Look here now. It's definitely not recommended, but it isn't illegal. Now, do you know the woman? Is she a friend of yours, family? She works here in a bar and she's pregnant. I want to see this place's liquor license revoked. So listen, she isn't doing anything illegal. What I can do is I will talk to her, but we can't take any action beyond that. Is there anything else you observed that you'd like to report? So AO2 comes over to me, I guess that was a no then, and takes me to a quiet spot while the first officer is getting their personal information and taking the rest of their statement. Karen is crying again, and I assume bemoaning being the last bastion of good Christian morality in this bar. The second officer introduces himself and congratulated me on the pregnancy and says I probably overheard why they were called, so he starts to offer me some public resources for new mothers, parenting classes, etc. I didn't want to interrupt him, so I was waiting for the right moment to interject with my innocence. That's when patrons come over thinking I'm in trouble and start defending me. We have plenty of regulars who know me and they would not let this BS stand. They even complained to the officers that the owner had asked the Karen party to leave and they'd continue to make a scene. So the awesome officers go talk to the owner, who said she was just about to call them, but sirens outside are bad for business and she was hoping the Karens would eventually leave on their own. The officers tell the Karen party they need to leave. This is a public place. I have every right to be here if I want. No sir, this is a private business and the business owners have asked you to leave. It sounds like more than once, but at least once since we've been here. This is a disgrace. This is an affront to scripture and child safety, and I understand you're upset. Let's talk about it outside. He places a hand on Mr. Karen and gives him a firm look. This next part was said as Mr. Karen walks out backwards so he can keep yelling at us, but bumping into things every step of the way. I'll be contacting the authorities about your liquor license. I happen to be close personal friends with the mayor. And you two, I want badge numbers. Don't think we're done here because we haven't even started. So the officers took them out, and as it was told to me by a regular who left around the same time, walked the Karens to their car, which was illegally parked in a handicapped space, for which they were ticketed. Justice is so sweet. They did make a complaint to the liquor authority, claiming among many things that we serve minors and we were investigated but obviously came up fine. My boss asked me to hold off sharing this story with anyone until the matter was settled, but now it is, so I had to share. I'm still laughing about it. Okay, so just to summarize, firstly, a family of Karens tried to tell me I couldn't work as a cocktail waitress because I'm pregnant. Now, apart from the fact that may or may not be the most stupid thing I've ever heard, on top of that, Karen said that if she held alcohol near her stomach, her pregnant stomach, the vapors would seep into her and infect her baby. I mean, how stupid can one person get? We tried to tell them they were wrong, they called 911 and they got a parking ticket. Now this is the funniest part of the whole story. Normally we tend to see in these stories that these entitled people eventually get arrested, but what the entitled people were doing in this story wasn't an arrestable offense. This parking ticket though is so perfect. I love how they were the ones who called the police, yet the police ended up giving them a fine. Just brilliant. And now for our fan submitted story of the day. This one is by Dylan Seems Cool. A kid, somewhat of a friend of mine, acts spoiled and asks for crazy expensive birthday presents. Hey Redditor and anyone else reading. Also Redditor, I'm a fan of yours and really like your videos. Well, thank you very much dude for the support, it does mean a lot. Anyway, I'm on a group chat app called IMO and it's kind of like Snapchat without the filters and stuff. And I bragged to my friends on there about how I was/am a semi-finalist for a poetry contest with a good amount of prize money. I hope I win. Well, I hope you do as well. Now the semi-finalist part is important for later. My friend said congrats, made some jokes, and hoped that I won, all apart from one kid. Now here's how the text went. I sent a picture of the letter I received telling me I'm a semi-finalist. This was in my classmates group chat. Now the entitled birthday boy said, wow, that's a lot. But don't me dude. Wait, what? I mean, if you happen to win, can you get me a Nintendo Switch for my birthday or something? Cause it's coming up and I'm going to invite you. I ask a pretty dumb question. Will you pay me back? I don't have $200, but if I get money for my birthday, I'll give you some, and the Nintendo Switch Lite is coming out, so the price of the Switch might go down. In my head, Sam, are you joking? I tell him the price of both of the consoles and how prices won't be dropped yet. The Nintendo Switch is $300 and the Nintendo Switch Lite is going to be $200. Damn, it's a lot. So then he goes on about other stuff I can get him, like an Xbox game for $60 or 3 months of Xbox Gold for $40 and 3 packs of AA batteries. Dang, y'all Xbox users. I said I think I can get you that to an Xbox game or the Xbox Gold because I had no idea what the price was. Then I stupidly bragged about how much money I had saved up over the years for me personally. Lastly, at the end he says, I forgot to say, nice, I hope you win the prize money. Great. And it actually wasn't even his birthday yet. Wow, that just sums him up. Anyway, thank you so much, Dylan, for posting this story. It was great to see how excited you were when I let you know that it was going to be in a video. And to all of you that want to see your stories in videos, post them on the subreddit r/RedditorYT now to be in with a chance. Anyway, that is the end of today's video. Remember, my gaming channel has now officially launched. I posted a Minecraft video yesterday. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it right away. With that being said, I will see you all tomorrow on the main channel for some more Reddit stories.